Hello, hello, hello. Long overdue, I'm finally getting around to do this tank review over the IS-3A. Well, this is a skin of the IS-3A called the Peregrine. It's a Russian Tier 8 heavy tank, a premium I have to point out. But this Peregrine is just like the regular IS-3A. Well, the regular premium IS-3A, I should say. And it just have a different skin called Peregrine. And this tank is a beast of its own. It can really change the battlefield and the outcome of the game, thanks to it being unique characteristics of this Autoloader, and already be punched in some damage here on Ruinberg, a notoriously slow and defensive map, I would say. It's very nitty-gritty grindy going on when you play this on this map. But hopefully we can showcase a little bit of an aggression here. I'm very tempted to push forward here, try to use the Chimera as a wreck there. This 122 is blocking us a little bit, but it should be fine. And now we're just waiting for maybe something appearing here. Unfortunately it's not. But to the uniqueness of this tank, it's this Autoloader that it has, and here I'm saying uh-oh. And we managed to get across, and now we can finally use this wreck. And I see there's no one around here. We can get in here before the Alpine Tiger shoots us. Alright, we are locked in. But we have a good cover here. This is a tight corner and it's a perfect bait for what's to come. As you can see, we score in some hits here and there. Pershing could have had a nice hit on us. But let's talk about this uniqueness of the tank. It is the Autoloader. And it has no, I would say, upsets of the Autoloader system. It's only slow. It's a reverse Autoloader. So the first shell loads the longest, and then the second, so forth, and the third it takes the fastest. So you're actually benefiting just to fully clip out, and then you become a regular IS-3. That is also the whole crux of this tank. So you basically can go around, just act like a normal heavy tank. You don't have to think about the auto reloading system at all, whether you're gonna do the reload or not. The one time you do have to think about it is when you need to be a little bit patient and sort of weave in and make sure that you have that you don't shoot too early. And here we have a great example of how strong this tank is. That is just another tier 8 banished from this map. He goes back to the garage. But the gun in itself is actually pretty neat. I'm here playing with a little bit bounty equipment as well. But let's go over the gun. We have 221 pen, which is very good for the APCR. We have a shell velocity of 1,400. So these shells are lightning quick. I don't know how high they are on the highest or fastest shells out there, but they're probably up in the top 10 of the tier 8s, I would say. We have an alpha for 390, so the average alpha, I would say, for unheavy. With a 10 seconds reload, I think it's around there. 10.8 or something like that. And the heat shells, that's where we have the high pen with the 270. But the shell velocity is 820, so we don't really... Oh, nice, he showed his side. He was not prepared for me to sitting here. It's 820 shell velocity. You don't really snipe with that shell. It's more this type of fighting would be very good with it. And I'm realizing my mistake. And oh no, the 122 blocks me. And a little bit upset with his 122. But he's also trying to take cover. Now we're both in a little bit of a jiffy here. SU beats. Oh, and we have the mega snapshot moment. And the HE is 61 pen and 790 shell velocity. So the HE is nothing awesome. And to put that into perspective, you don't have enough shells for HE usage. You barely have enough shells to have two different types of shells with this one. But I managed to kind of set it up so I can utilize them both. And the gun depression and gun elevation is bad. I mean, the gun depression is -5, which is the bad part. You don't really can play hold down with this tank. That's what you kind of want. That's why I'm setting up this little sim city here, So I have this pull down and work with, so I don't have to, you know, peek down and struggle with my gun depression. And the gun elevation is 90. Very typical for a Russian tank to have very high gun elevation. And this tank, you can't really utilize it like we do with the regular IS-3. We can do the reverse side scraping. Because, well, we have very bad gun depression in the back. It's even worse in the back. I can't remember if it's like flat 0 or something like that. So we can't really utilize the reverse side scrape. Plus, we don't have that square in the back, sort of in the very back of the tank. I will show that in the garage section, where I'm talking about, where we have that impenetrable armor on the IS-3. We don't have that on this tank, unfortunately. I see the IS-6B moving up, but we ignoring him. Yeah, we are ignoring him. We know the Alpine Tiger is going to punish us immediately. And I discovered the Löwe. Ooh, waiting for the turret, waiting for the turret. Ah, we hit the turret of the Löwe. And Kanoniag Panzer gave me a devastating blow. And in this battle, I'm using server reticle. I was in the mood of trying it out more, so I had a couple of streams, actually, some streams where I just used the server reticle more than the client reticle, but with the next game we will use the client reticle. You have a dispersion of 0.44, so it's not a sniper. The aim time is 2.88, so it takes some time to aim in. And the sort of the gun handling is not that good as well. That's why I'm using the bounty equipment on this one. I'm using bounty IRN and bounty bird stab. We'll show that in the garage. And artillery does 0 damage. That is amazing. And the Löwe bounces us. We know him. We know that he is still sitting there and aiming us. We need to keep this little base here. He's peeking again. He's a one shot for us, kinda. Yeah. He's kind of a one shot for us. And we're kind of hoping he's gonna peek in again. Oh, he does. And we finish him off. Alright. You see the Alpine tank has moved up. They open up the corridor for us to either take him out. Oh, no. Someone else took him out. The RHM. Good job. So now we can move up and assert ourselves in the front line here. We do have a... Like, this tank is pretty nice when it comes down to this type of place. Not that shot though. But you have this devastating like clip with you, especially against tier 8s. Oh, there's lucky bounce. Oh, nice job by the enemy, by my team, not the enemy team. Where you can really go out and single-handedly take out targets left and right. Where you have no issue of it, to be honest, versus these non-armor targets. I don't know why he's reversing out there. I would say that if you want to run away, you try to take your front forward, because you're faster. Way faster than going backwards. And here we find another Peregrine that's been playing defensively, but it's the nature of this map. It's such a defensive grind map that you want to go through. The crew layout is a little bit meh on this tank as well. You have a 3-man crew. Also go over this in the garage, which actually is a little bit annoying, because the crew layout is not the best. But he bounced one shell here, and allows us to move in and just finish him off. Wait for it. That's what I'm talking about, that you need to have some discipline. So I wait for that shell to wait for the second shell to reload, just to have a shell prepped and ready for the artillery. I don't think the artillery would ever reload before, but in case it did. And there we have it. Cleared out this Ruinberg site. Now we just need to find this last little Brusk tank that's out there. You have a view range of 350, so I don't have full view range of this tank because you need to help the gun so much, actually. The gun is very, very wonky. It's only good when you have this close-up, close-up fighting. Then the gun and the gun handling kind of works for you. You still have to aim in, you still have to take your time and set up. But as soon as you come anything above 150 to 200 meters, you become a little bit problem. Oh, we get spotted here. I don't know where he is. I'm thinking right there, but no, he's actually even more on the left. And we take him out. That was a good first game, man. 7 kills, almost 5,000 damage. Let's hop over to the next round here. And here we are on Sand River now, where we're gonna be hopefully having a good game here. I'm gonna spoil it a little bit and say it's a good game. It's always a good game, but this time it's a good game. I'll let you see and decide that for yourself. And to talk a little bit more about the mobility of this tank, it's not the slowest, but it's not the fastest as well. We have a top speed of 40, which we get around the place, and a reverse speed of 50. So it's not fast when it goes forward, it's not slow going backwards, but it's in that bottom line, I would say, in both respective parts of it. We here on Sand River, which is notoriously sort of a sniper map, if we have this sort of engagement here where we can kind of fire bow shells, we know we can cross. So like over here, we know we can play a little bit close combat, and it's kind of working out for us then. Ooh, the poor defender burned up, took all the hits for us to set up. We have on 122, and ooh, that shot went haywire, absolutely haywire. But yeah, you can see it is around 270 meters. Unpredictable this gun becomes. Here I'm seeing that I can kind of work cooldown. I have the Tiger 2, and I don't want to stay in front of the VC-55 giving 2 easy shots, but this Tiger is very, very kind to us. Full clip immediately. 1200 damage, just like that. That's how quickly it is to do damage with this tank. See, they're sitting pretty here. The 122. Oh, there we go. Cupola actually. Oh, that caught me off guard. Even though I played this game, I played this round, and I have done this myself, it still caught me off guard. I hit the Cupola. The 122. Kinda. First he saw us and avoided us, and then he said screw it. And then he peeked, and then we get another shot there. We're already up to a 2000 damage here. So we don't want to give him too much breathing room here. Ah, that was me pushing up a little bit too far up. But I don't want to give them breathing room. I don't want them to move out or get out of here. I thought we had a little bit of a chance of shooting it, but the dip in front of us, or like the cover in front of us, we touched that with our front track, and then, well, you know, gun goes haywire then. Waiting, looking here, seeing what I can do. I can't really fight up there. There's also a very nasty tanks, a 60 TP, a 121, and a 183. Ugh, I can maybe play some hold on the very, very, very side of things, but I gotta hope it becomes a movement fight here, so I can move around and I can strike. There's the 183 firing, so we know we're safe from him. The 60 TP seems a little bit unaware of what's going on, that we have a defender there. He doesn't know that I'm coming up here, so maybe he's just saying, ah, it's just a flunky little tier 8 shooting me. But this 60 TP makes a crucial mistake now, and that is actually to point it downwards. But, well, that doesn't matter when you ricochet the Cupola, even though you hit the Cupola, and that one we hit though. Looking for the back part, loading heat, ricochet again. Loading heat so we have better penetration angle, I would say. As you can see, he's going to be leaning downwards, and now we have a flat spot on his turret that we can easily shoot. With the APCR, we could not hit those shells. And he's showing us the lower points. Oh, again, roof gun. Easy. That's good. 60 TP. It's gone. All we're waiting for now is we look around, see if we can push out. I was thinking going around here, where you see the CMV CC67 and 50 TP. Alright, that they push around and push in from that, so we can avoid the 183, but the 183 just hit my defender here. So this allows us to push. Oh, a little bit lag. But I'm gonna take this hit just to gain a better sort of cover towards him. To go over one thing, that hit that we took there was super dangerous, because this tank is very fragile to fires. Anything hits in the engine deck, it has a very high chance of being set on fire. And we are in a superb position, as you can see. We probably would not have gone up here too much if not this 183 push down like that. We would be a little bit more careful, a little more take our time and move up. But to talk about the armor now of the tank, it's not amazing. You got 110 front hull armor, 90 on the side and 60 in the back. The turret armor is actually moderately fine. You do bounce a lot. I mean, sometimes obviously big heat is going to go through it. You have a frontal turret armor of 249. And then we have 172 on the side and then 100 back. So low, very low HE rounds, only at the rear of this tank can be hit. The enemy team is capping, and we know we don't have to go up where the CC67 is and the 50 TPR. We go directly for the cap area. We should not be spotted. If we get spotted here, we know that the Burask is sitting in the base there. But there's so many of us around here that if he shoots, he should take a few hits himself. Oh, this is a neat trick that very useful that I'm using there. Just auto-aim the target before you get to it, especially with tanks like this with very bad gun handling. Here's a VC-55. He fired once. We're waiting for it. Maybe he fires another one. It's kind of my goal. I see him. Okay, CDC is moving in. This is perfect for us. I'm telling him I'm coming to help. There we know. Now we know the VC-55 is on reload. Took one hit. We tracked him, we know he spent his repair kit, but we're gonna push across, we're not gonna stay next to him. Because we know there's more safety where we're turning the tank, and we're gonna really expand quickly, because he has a very fast reload. It's roughly 20 seconds, that's almost 19. Ooh, and we just got around the corner. And we know if we play for time here, we have an advantage. Also, there's more of us coming in as a circle around checking. Oh, and there we have it. Ooh. Those VC-55s, it's like a fast-moving Jagdpanzer E100. Sayonara VC-55. And we cracked up a 6k damage so far. The Burask is a little bit outside of reach, and loading one shell only. It's a little bit of a mistake for me here. I noticed this a little bit too late. I think I'm around here where I'm noticing. Oh no. I only have one shell. And this guy is a 2-shot for us. But we should have the reload advantage on him. But we do want to keep that hit points, because you never know when you're gonna need it at the end here. We're just circumventing him. We know he's behind the building there. Looking third person. Easy hit. Easy fire as well on top of that. And he burned out. And there we have it. 6,700 damage so far. Can we squeeze out more? I'm a little bit unaware now where the CC1 is, and oh, he's actually behind out. So we're gonna turn our slow boat over there. As you can see, the speed and the mobility is not super impressive this time. Oh, they actually managed to clean out the tank. But the sheer explosiveness when you get a cooldown period like this, where you can kind of just get another 3 shells in, it's so freaking powerful. Actually. So fast games, this tank is moderately fine, but when you have the small break between the fighting. Oh, here I'm really trying to get the shots in. Oh my god, we got the last shot in there. And a 7,007 damage. My god, this is both been my XP record and damage record. More about this tank in garage. And in the garage, like always, we have, starting with the crew, equipment, shells, consumables, and field modification. But to touch a little bit first, to a little bit self-brag, that game that we just saw on Sand River was my most XP game ever. I broke my record. I had that before, it was a Churchill 3, I think, something like that. But this I have a broken my record with 3,369. That is amazingly high. And my damage record for the tank was 7,007. But enough of self-bragging and such, let's go over to the tank, the nitty-gritty things. The crew is straightforward. The bad thing about the crew also is the layout. The commander is the loader as well as the radio operator. So it's very hard to get intuition on this tank. I actually don't know how intuition works on this tank, because usually in an autoloader you can switch between the shells very quickly, so I assume it works exactly like that. But the skills I will pick is the Sixth Sense, Repairs, Brothers in Arms, Situational Awareness, and Recon. And the last one I have Firefighting there as well. You can see this tank, this commander is for the Object 277. The gunner, we take Brothers in Arms, Repair, Deadeye, Snapshot, and Concealment. I don't know if you need Deadeye for an 122, but it's kind of nice to have. You could switch out the Deadeye for a little bit better firefighting. You could take out the Concealment for the firefighting as well. Actually, you should take out firefighting. You should take firefighting instead of the Concealment now I think about it. For the driver, it's pretty much straightforward. I have Preventive Maintenance. I didn't actually know I had Preventive Maintenance. And then Brothers in Arms, Smooth Ride, Repair, and Clutch Braking. But I would pick Brothers in Arms, Smooth Ride, Repair, Clutch Braking, and then Off-Road Driving. Or Off-Road Driving before Clutch Braking. I have Controlled Impact because if I go over to Object 277, it's such a fast tank and you can really ram up people. This tank struggles with that, so I would not suggest Controlled Impact. For the equipment, I think you can go like this with Standard, Ventilation, Vertical Stabilizer, and IRM, or Rotation Mechanism. I'm using Bounty just to make this tank feel a little bit better. Actually, quite a bit better, I would say. With all the things. And for the second set of equipment, I would like to put in the optics whenever I'm in a map where I need full view range here. I don't have it with the other set, but on wide open maps like Malinovka, Prokhorovka, and so forth. For the shells, what I found out works for me is 16-12, so 16 APCR and 12 heat. And that way we can sort of both use the type of shells that we need in certain situations. But it's kind of hard to get fully out of it. Sometimes what I like to do now we can change the two different type of sets is have one more heavy on the heat and one more heavy on the APCR. And then the regular rations and then consumables with the repair kit and first aid kit. And now let's hop over to the field modification. It's pretty much straightforward. It's the all-terrain suspension. You must take this one, it's the best. The parallax adjustment is smaller aiming circle. The final solution is better, plus it helps whenever we're moving or whatever we're doing. It's just a smaller aim. It's always better. And then the last one is the periscope, where we always want to pick because we want to get the full view range. And as a boost, we take firepower. If we are using no bounty equipment, then we put vertical stabilizer on this boosted one. And as you can see, the ventilation get boosted by the survivability right there. That was my little review of the IS-3A. It's can be a fun tank, but do you have to have patience with the gun. But I think what really lifts this tank up is when you have bounty equipment on the vert stab and the IRM. That just elevates this tank through the roof. But that was my little tank review of the Peregrine. Long overdue, but I made it. And thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you around.